Welcome everyone to the special July 4th rendition of Havdalah.com. We'd like to thank Havdalah.com as well as Shabbat.com for sponsoring and making this amazing institution called Havdalah.com. For those of you who have not yet made Havdalah, repeat after me. Baruch. Hamavdil. Bain. Kodesh. Lechol. So all of our viewers out there are now kosher and good to go and to do all your electric device. Okay, we had a very exciting week. It's actually a very exciting 11 days in the life of JET and JET YP. We're here from Chicago. JET is Jewish Education Team. It's the group that we are do outreach with. We're very excited. We just got back from Israel with the most amazing JET YP summer 2015 journey. I'd like to thank my family for being very patient, being without me for actually 12 days. So thank you all, family. And I'd like to share with you two stories that happened on the trip, which I think fit in very well with July 4th. So July 4th, first of all, as Americans, as Jews, we need to be very thankful to live in a country that allows us to practice our religion freely. And so shout out, props to America for that. Thank you very much. That's just giving gratitude where gratitude is due. So we're very appreciative to be able to be Jews in America and to do Torah and mitzvahs, which has not been the case throughout much of our history, throughout much of the globe. Okay, so now, but how we define freedom is slightly different maybe than other places define freedom, how the Torah defines it. Many people define freedom as being the ability to do whatever you want whenever you want to do it. Basically, what we call in Hebrew hefkerut, which means like ownerlessness, to do whatever you want. But in the Torah, we define it as in a different way. Freedom is really the freedom from all those drives that subjugate us. So many times, really, freedom is the ability to overcome that which compels us to do things. I'll give you an example. So when we want to eat, we want to just dive in and eat, right? But no, we say, wait a minute, we're going to say the blessing beforehand, the blessing afterwards. It was to control our animal instincts. And in that case, we actually control the food, and the food doesn't control us. So in a certain level, by taking time out to say the blessings before and afterwards, we're really free, even though technically we have to do stuff. So here's the first story. So it was one night of the trip. We went out, the whole group, to a restaurant in Yerushalayim, and it was amazing. We had a great meal, and we're having a great time. And I said to the waitress, Tavi et cheshbon, bring the cheshbon, which is the bill. And before I knew it, she brought us a bunch of benchers. Now, benchers are the things that we say the Birkat HaMazon out of. So this very nice waitress, who, by the way, was not necessarily an observant Jew, when she heard cheshbon, she really heard Birkat HaMazon. So she brought out benches. I didn't know what was going on. Why are you begging? So we ended up singing Birkat HaMazon in the restaurant in Jerusalem, which was a very inspirational story. Okay, so the second story is that, what we're doing now is Havdalah. People say, wow, and this, by the way, is the longest Shabbos of the year, Kindalach. So next week, we're already going to start, Havdalah.com is going to start getting earlier. And Shabbos, people say, oh, it's such a drag, you have to do all this stuff. But really, it's amazing. Shabbos is really an unbelievable opportunity. I'd like to share with you, one of the things we did on the trip was ATVing. Now, ATVing are those cool off-road devices. We're traveling in the mountains, a lot of fun. And we went, and I'd like to give a specific plug to one place it does in Israel called Dishon. Dishon is in the Golan, and it's used to be kibbutz. I don't know if it's still kibbutz, but ATV at Dishon. Now, these were wonderful people. Again, not particularly religious at all. Certainly did not talk religious or seem religious in terms of observance. And we had an amazing time. They were very friendly. We left, and right before we left, Kidnalach, I didn't tell you the story yet. So the head guy, without a yarmulke on his head, said, Harav, tagid lekvutza shanachnu sgurim b'Shabbat. Which means, Rabbi, tell your group that we're closed on Shabbat. I'm like, I didn't really expect it. A place like this, in the north, they have plenty of tourists that could come. They could be open on Shabbat. And he said again, Tagid lekvutza she'anachnu sgurim b'Shabbat. We're closed on Shabbat. I said, you know what? That's very inspiring. I'm going to tell the group. What the tour guide told me was something even more powerful. The tour guide said that a year ago they made the decision. Again, not necessarily observant Jews, Sabbath observant Jews, but they respected Jewish tradition so much, they miss out, quote unquote, on $1 million shekels every year, which turns out to be about $300 and something thousand, at least $300,000 every year now, because they're closed on Shabbat. And that was the commitment that they made for Shabbat. So again, they, in certain terms, may not be free because they're limited by Shabbat, but you know what? It means that they stand for their values. And it means that they're not driven by money. They control their money. The ability to not work on Shabbat, that makes them truly free. And so on this July 4th, be it the story about the waitress and the Birkat HaMazon, or the ATVing in Dishon, that were both beautiful parts of our trip, we see the real notion of Torah notion of freedom. That it doesn't mean do whatever you want. It means being a disciplined and morally driven life. Okay, so without any further ado, we'd like to go around and show everyone who's here at the table with us. My favorite part of Shabbat was actually being back with my family and celebrating Shabbat here, even though I did love Shabbos in Yerushalayim.
I like the weather.
Okay.
I like playing.
Like playing? Okay.
Playing outside with my friends.
Okay. We have a special guest. Okay. Okay, come in.
My favorite part of Shabbos was having our Abba home. It was nice to be together again.
I agree. I like that. Okay.
I went to our bar mitzvah this week, and it was very nice. I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay. All right. And all the others had a wonderful Shabbos as well. Okay. Here we go. Yeshua siyam davalo evchad ki azipizim ras yadunoi lahi Yeshua ushavtem mayim b'sesam ma'inei shva ladunai ha-Yeshua alamacha berchol sechel sel adonai tzvos imanu miskav lano elekosel adonai tzvos asher davateh bach Adonai Yoshia Melech Yaneinu v'Yom Kareinu. Lehudim Haisa Ora v'Simcha v'Sam v'Kar Kendi Lanu. Kos v'Shros v'Sav Shemanai Kras Avri Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Borei Priya Garfinkel.
Amen.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam Borei Minei v'Samim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei mo'orei ha'esh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamadim b'kodesh echol benor lachoshet ben Yisrael la'amim ben yom hashvi l'sheish v'meim asem. Baruch atah Adonai hamavdil ben kodesh echol. Okay. Shavua Tov. Eliyahu Anavim. Eliyahu Adishbib. Eliyahu Agiladi. Bimera ve'yameinu. Yahava Eleinu. Imashiach ben David. Imashiach ben David. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Atishbi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bim Heira Yava Aleinu, Imashiach Ben David, Nananam, Nananam, Okay, we wish everyone a Shavua Tov, a blessed week, a week of real freedom, and God willing, we will see you back here soon at Havdalah.com.